Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Men of Yoshiwara Kikuya, and we are in Kageru's route, and we just started in the last part, but we're already in chapter 3, so, like, shit. I don't know, his route's gonna be shorter than the others, or I just don't ramble as much, and we rambled for 20 minutes about shit in the, well, it wasn't really that long, but felt like we rambled a lot in the first part. Anyway, we just met his sister. I told you she was his sister. Anyway, so, and she's trying to get us to convince him to let her buy his freedom. So, anyway, maybe he doesn't want to. There's got to be some reason. So I'm sure that's going to be the whole plot twisty thingy. Well, not like a twist, but you know what I mean. Like the whole plot is going to be, why? Why won't you let your sister buy your freedom? Because Kagura's my father. I mean, who knows? Wouldn't that be funny as shit? Fuck, this is like a family business. Weird. Anyway. I didn't really understand. Perhaps what Shihan-san was saying was true. But if it was, then why wouldn't Kageru-san hear Shihan-san out? Without realizing it, I had been tightly gripping the pendant top that I picked up earlier. Kageru-san... Oh, look at that. We could have literally finished that in the last part. I didn't know how long it was going to go because we just, you know what I mean? Like, so anyway. Well, there you go. Shion, Chapter 4. The next day, on top of my palm, I was rolling the pendant accessory that I picked up yesterday. Kageru-san... The words that I heard from Shihan-san yesterday echoed in my head. I have enough money to buy his freedom. And even though I've said this to him many times, he won't listen to me. To have one's freedom bought, and for a gentleman of the night who is confined to Yoshiwara, I heard that it was more than a dream to have your freedom bought. Maybe I didn't know enough about the red light district, and it's really not that for them. There's also this pendant that I picked up yesterday. So, should I go to see him? Should I go to Yoshiwara again? In the daytime, Yoshiwara was unexpectedly quiet and inactive. No, perhaps I'm wrong. It was because I know the true character of this city is one of lust and desire. I felt that way because I know this city's appearance at night. Kageru-san... I unconsciously clutched my hand in front of my chest pocket where I had put the pendant. I wanted to ask him how he really felt. Just then, I found Kageru-san walking down the main street while carrying his bag under his arm. Kageru-san! Spacey-san? Oh, what happened? I didn't expect you to come to Yoshiwara in the daytime. Even though I had wanted to see him, when I finally faced him, I was unable to ask him any of the things that I wanted to ask. So, are you coming back from school, Kageru-san? No. Today I have performance training. Training? What kind? Girl, don't ask. A little bit of dancing and singing. Dancing and singing. Quotes. Speaking of, I don't think they teach him those. I don't think they'd actually teach him the bedroom things. In daytime. Seems a little weird. But I mean, when's he gonna learn? That's gonna be awkward. They're like, here's how you do this. Do they have diagram? Like, you know what? I don't want to know, but I do want to know. Speaking of, I have yet to see Kageru's performance skills. We'll get to see them at some point. God, this game. But I could easily imagine how a graceful boy would dance. Kageru-san, your dancing, it must be very beautiful. I'm like a baby who's just grown a bit of hair. I'm still just an amateur. Wow. And there are plenty of gentlemen who are exceptional at dancing and singing. And Tokiwa-san's dancing and singing skills are particularly amazing. He could probably suck, and I bet people would think it was amazing just because he's so exotic looking. Is Tokiwa the man with the blonde hair? That's right. I don't really like him, though. He praised him, but also didn't forget to speak harshly of him, too. There's our crunchy marshmallow. Because, like, he's trying to act all nice, but he's just crunchy. He's like the stale marshmallow. Like, it's still chewy and soft, but a little crunchy at the same time and weird. I don't know. I've never eaten stale marshmallows, but I'm just going to imagine. He's like crunchy peanut butter. You think it's supposed to be delicious, but it's got fucking peanuts in it. It's crunchy peanut butter. What the fuck is wrong with it? Look, it's smooth peanut butter and nothing. Not that I have a thing against peanuts. I just weirdly don't want my peanut butter crunching. But when I saw this, a giggle slipped out of my mouth. How rude. Why are you laughing? Because that's just so you, Kageru-san. Oh, and by the way, I found this. I took the pendant accessory out of my chest pocket. I finally feel like the tense feelings between us have loosened up. This was dropped in front of my house yesterday. Does it belong to you, Kageru-san? I presented it to Kageru-san. And as I did, the silver accessory reflected the sunlight and shined dimly. This can't be true, can it? Huh? I didn't expect you would find this. Kageru-san clearly showed his happiness and held the accessory and my hands with his hands. The softness of his palms made me gasp for a moment. Thank you so much. I thought that I may have dropped it somewhere and had been looking for it all along. When I handed it to him, Kageru-san directed his eyes fondly towards the small silver accessory. His glance was gentle. Even someone like Kageru-san, it was hard to believe that he would have such a childlike look of joy in his face. Is it something precious? Is it something obvious? The way he's looking at it, someone gave it to him and it is something precious. It is something precious that someone gave him. And maybe it's expensive, but is it expensive? That's not how you sound like, oh, thank God, that thing was expensive. You know, like, if you handed something back to someone and it was expensive, they'd be like, oh, thank God. That would have been out a lot of money. But when it's something that was, like, as a memento, it means something to them, they would be, like, his reaction, like, oh, thank God. And look at it like it's something precious. So I feel like I think someone gave it to him, but I feel like it's something precious to you, isn't it? Whether someone gave it to him or yes, someone gave it to you probably, but it means something to you. That's the more important. That's the top tier level meaning behind what he's looking at, right? Anyway. Is it such a precious thing? Yes. I've held this with care ever since I was a child. Oh, wait, I'll show you why right now. It made a small click sound. It seemed that it had a trick to it, so it's a fucking locket. When Kageru-san handled it, the cover of the accessory opened. How rare! It was a Western gadget, and it was inside the accessory. Even at my shop, it was rare to see something like this. Can you see it? There's a small picture in here. After Kageru-san told me this, I took a closer look. It's a fucking locket. This is a little boy. Was it Kageru-san when he was a child? There was also an old lady and a girl. But the picture was really worn from age. So I couldn't tell what they looked like. And this is my mother and my older sister. We were separated when I was a little child. You wouldn't have known that if I didn't say that. Because it's a very old picture. It's a picture of your family. So this little girl was Shihan-san? He was thinking about his family. That's why he had such gentle eyes before. I compared Kageru-san with the picture that had faded in different areas. I'm glad to find it again. Kageru-san closed the cover of the accessory. And then with great affection, he clutched the pendant accessory close to his chest. I didn't expect it to make you that happy. I can say thank you like a normal person, you know. His appearance, even when he was pouting a little, looked different from his usual self. I'd also like to thank you for yesterday. Since I was able to talk to you about many things, Kageru-san. Even though I made you carry my things, you just don't learn, do you? I do think it was a little too much for me, though. I had one more thing to show him. I took out the item that I had hidden away in my chest pocket. Oh, what is that? Kageru-san took a look at the delicate, silver, shining chains that matched with the accessory. This is a token of my gratitude. And this accessory, it's an important pendant, isn't it? So I thought that you might not lose it anymore if you use this chain. And this is for me. When I saw Kageru-san's face, I couldn't believe what I just saw. It's actually kind of cute. You're giving him something simple. It's a fucking chain to put the shit on so it doesn't fall out of your damn pocket anymore. God, stop being an idiot. And he's like, this is for me. so precious. It's kind of cute. It's just a fucking chain, dude. It's probably not like the cheap brass, like gold, like silver plated chains and like that we have nowadays. Is probably actually expensive, but still. Was he being shy? Thank you. Kikuya-san became speechless for a while. Okay, he's really okay. So like we've been like an hour and 10 minutes. We're into his route, right? Are we in the fourth chapter? Yeah, we're the fourth chapter still. 4 chapters in. And you know what? I don't hate him. I don't like him. Like, I'm not like, he's like the best. But I don't hate him. He is a dick sometimes, and you're like, God damn it. But like, alright, maybe I don't hate crunchy peanut butter so much. There's no real reason for it. I just prefer smooth peanut butter, okay? I prefer my creamy peanut butter. And he's crunchy peanut butter, but like, he's still peanut butter, and so it's acceptable. I'm okay with this. Like, I told you, I said this was going to happen. He's such a dick and I don't like him. And every other route, he's like, why are you still a little bitch? And I'm like, he's probably going to have a great route. And it's not bad so far. I'll give him that. He's still, every once in a while, I know he's going to be a little bitch. And I'm going to be like, you goddamn little bitch. But overall, hour in impressions, he's not awful. I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I don't love him. But I don't hate him. Fine. Kikuya-san became speechless for a while. He looked very happy as he compared the accessory with the chain that he just received. If he says it doesn't match, I will punch him. It definitely... He passed the chain through the accessory and wore it around his neck. With this, it seems that I won't have to worry about losing it again. His eyes were filled with an unusually gentle light. I figured he had it on a chain and it broke, but I guess he always just had the pendant itself, like the locket itself, and not a chain for it. The warmth that one feels when thinking of one's family. It was one side of this boy that I came to know for the first time. But also, I remembered what Shihan-san said to me yesterday. A boy is born to be separated from his family, and that's the fate that awaits him. The existence of a family. For Kikuya-san, that must be very important. And so much so that it would make this cynical boy put a smile on his face. But if that's so, then why don't do it? Don't do it. I was like, don't ask yet. Ask casually about his family. Like, so like, you've never seen your family again since then? Why was he refusing an offer of freedom that would allow him to live with his family? Maybe he's a little bitter and angry for being sold off. Spacey-san, did something happen? Oh, huh? You've been quiet for a little while now. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking about something. Shihan-san asked me to convince him, but couldn't I at least ask him about the circumstances? Thinking about something. It's not polite to think about something else when you have someone in front of you. Yes. I just can't get it out of my head. Is it okay to ask him? Ask him honestly. See how things go. Don't ask him! I don't. But I don't think we should... I feel like asking him honestly is not good. I want to not ask him, but at the same time, see how things go is kind of like the like, so like you haven't talked to your family in a long time, huh? Lead him gently into it. Lead the horse to water. Let him drink it himself. Don't force his face in it. And yeah, let's just try to see if that leads him to it. Maybe, just casually say something. I don't know. I kept staring at Kageru-san's face in the hopes that I might be able to read his feelings. Are you still thinking about something? I was scared by his haughty glance, so I swallowed the words that were about to come out of my mouth. No, I'm not. In the end, I was unable to ask him anything and lost my chance to do so. Well, shit. Just then. But I feel bad that I'm the only one who received a token of gratitude. Don't worry about something like that. But it looked like I asked you to give me money and gifts. It would be better if I could also give you a token of my gratitude. But I don't know you very well, so I'm not sure what I should give you. Kageru-san crossed his arms and started to think seriously. Then please talk to me like yesterday. Is that enough for you? Yes, I'm very simple. Kageru-san's black eyes twinkled as soon as he heard my response. Oh, yes. I thought of something that would be perfect. Well, why don't we go together to a fair at Inari's Shrine next Sunday? Inari's Shrine? You mean the one in Yoshiwara? Yes, that's right. So they have fairs in Yoshiwara too. I didn't know that. It's kind of famous. You didn't know that? Surprising just how sheltered you are. I just thought that it wasn't a place for me. It seemed that I would never get used to his sharp tongue, as this made me flinch. Please don't act so scared in front of me like that. Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know how to laugh as him. I don't know. Did he think I was a bothersome girl? I didn't know why he laughed at me, though. Either way, if you didn't know about it, then I think you'll enjoy it. Yes, thank you so much. But don't you have to go back to the shop at night? A fair in Yoshiwara is especially fun during the day. If it's daytime, I'm allowed to leave the shop too. You'll be able to see Yoshiwara unlike the red light district that exists at night. But you don't even know Yoshiwara at night, do you? He chuckled and was clearly making fun of me. Stop it! It's still daytime. I can't help it. It's just so easy to tease you. Huh? Tease? I tried to question him, but Kageru-san just smiled at me mischievously. I have to get back to the shop soon. Time just flew by while we stood here talking. I guess it's that time already. Time flies by when you're having fun and you're gazing at my gloriousness. Just saying. Well, I'll be off then. Please look forward to seeing me on Sunday. Yes, good luck at the shop. Yes. When he left, a smile came across the boy's face. I wanted to see more of that smile. I wanted to talk to him. While thinking so, I watched him run off towards Kikuya. Before I knew it, I found that I really enjoyed spending time with Kageru-san. Though, in the end, I was unable to ask him about Shion-san's offer to buy his freedom. From Kageru-san's attitude, he was likely unaware that I had met Shion-san. It was almost like I had hid it from him. Kageru-san... I watched as his back became smaller and smaller, and I felt a tingling pain in my chest, as if entangled in a thicket of thorns. We're just like whipping through this route. The candy apple, that's what it was. And on Sunday, the day that we promised to meet. Have a nice day! My mother saw me off at the entrance, which was unusual for her. Isn't you so dressed up like that? And be careful not to come home too late. Okay, goodbye then. Mom, you're like, where are you going? I'm going to a fair in Yoshiwara with one of the main hoes. He's not yet. He's in training, but... So, like, nothing's happening, Mom. It's okay. I'm not going to come home pregnant. She's like, don't worry about it, dear. You're at that age. I left my house and walked toward Yoshiwara, down the main street in the marketplace. I was taken aback to see my mother notice that I was dressed better than usual. Girl, she's like, I know what I did at your age. Where do you think you came from? Today was the day of the fair that we agreed to go to. Kageru-san, was I looking forward to this? Like, duh. Was I looking forward to what lies ahead and to spending time with that boy? My mother would have never imagined that I was going to see a man from Yoshiwara. But for Kageru-san, such parental concerns is but an old, distant memory. That's why he has such strong feelings for his family and Kagura-san, who took care of him. I'm just saying, Kagura-san could be his daddy, you don't know. While thinking this, I arrived at Inari's Shrine, the place where we were to meet. Well, okay, so maybe not, because if you think about it, like, we're probably, like, we're made to seem like we're, like, 17 to 20, right? Like, young adultish thing. So he's roughly our age, so let's just say he's, like, even if he's, like, late teens. Okay. I don't really think any of the men there are like, it's not like they're fucking 30. So like Kagura to be his dad would have to be like in his late 30s. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not necessarily, but if he's like, let's just say he's not quite 20, then but he's not allowed to be, you know, a gentleman yet. There's obviously like an age. Well, okay, now you can be a gentleman. Maybe he's only 17. Maybe you have to be a legal adult. I don't know what the legal adulthood status was back in the day here. But like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's not like, oh, well, he's 15. He's old enough to be, you know, an escort. You know? That would be really fucking creepy. I don't want to play that game. But like, so what? Even if it was like, okay, so like 20, that's like when you're fine. Like, I doubt Kagura is like supposed to be 40. You know what I mean? That would be like, that's poor Uroha. He's past his prime. What did we say? He's like, he's probably 30. He's past his prime. That's right, because as soon as you turn 30, you die, children. You're so dead. Oh my god, I'm 26. I'm so fucking old. Laughs an old lady. Just wait, kiddos. It gets worse. So I'm just saying, like, he might be in the late. I just can't imagine. I can imagine like Takao and Tokiwa being like supposed to be in their mid to late 20s, like mid. I mean, it's always weird because you look at them and you're like, really, you. Takao's supposed to be 15? Really? Bullshit. Because you know what I mean? They just draw them like, you're like, there's no way he's only like 20. But you know what I mean? And Kagura just seems like he's older than that. But I wouldn't be like, well, he's like 45. Because you know that's not how they do these games. They're never, if they're like 28, you're like, Jesus, they're fucking old. So he couldn't be his dad. But like, he's his brother! He has a sister and a brother! Damn! Who knows? I don't know. He's like the dad I never had. I don't know. Anyway. While thinking this, I arrived at Inari's shrine, the place where we were to meet. As I looked for him, or, you know what I mean, if you think about it, he was sold off here, and then Kaguro's probably taken care of him, so he's like better than my family. He's family to me where my family isn't because my family sold me off. Even though it's not really your sister's fault. She didn't have a say in it. She's a little older than you, but it's not like she was like, yeah, sell him. She's not your mom. So anyway, as I looked for him, Spacey-san, I found Kageru-san under the red torii gate at the entrance. I'm sorry, were you waiting for me? Not like I'm gonna waste my time for you. I just got here. I ran towards Kageru-san, who was pursing his lips. When I did, I saw something around Kageru-san's feet. Was it a line from his studies? Numbers and what looked like foreign characters were drawn in the dirt. Oh, what is this? It's fucking algebra. I'm just kidding. It's nothing. Kageru-san used his feet to quickly erase the characters on the ground. Could it be that you were... Was he waiting for me for a while? Don't be nosy. I was just remembering a little of what I learned from my teacher yesterday. Oh, okay. Bullshit! Waited for a long time. Doing math like a nerd. I'm just kidding. He should be more honest about it. When I looked at the color of the boy's cheeks, I chuckled a bit in my heart. Oh, well, let's go. Oh. He held out his white hand and softly grabbed my right hand. Spacey-san. The boy's eyes looked at me with concern. Don't you like to hold hands? I was just surprised. I'm happy. Hold his hand back. I'm happy? I don't think... I just surprised is... Okay, yes, that's the truth, but is that not... That's not... Okay. Sometimes these are easy because you're like, I was just surprised. Okay, true. I'm happy. Good. Hold his hand back. Might be better. You know what I mean? And sometimes they're reverse and like whatever. But there's always one answer that, well, true. I was surprised. Probably not the right one. One of these is better. Well, he grabs your hand and you're just, what, I'm happy and you don't hold his hand back? Wouldn't you still be... Hold his hand back? No, not at all. Let's go. I returned the fingers that I had previously pulled back, and then slowly held his hand in return. Oh, because he reached for her hand and... Oh! She pulled her hand away. Okay. The soft touch of his fingers made me feel like my heart was about to explode. And so it came to be that I walked hand in hand with Kageru-san for the first time. So adorable. Oh, it's their first time, guys, holding hands. We got a lot of other firsts with the dudes, but this is the first time we've been... Ah! Look, when you hold hands with someone for the first time, it is kind of exciting. It's not like you haven't done it before, but it's always like, oh, holding hands is cute, you know. Anyway, I thought about it too much. Though I thought that, I held his hand again and again after my fingers slipped from his. Oh, which stall should we go to first? Fairs in Yoshiwara for the pleasure of customers coming to the entertainment district. And there are a fairly large number of stalls for shows. That's amazing. The lively sounds of music echoed through the shrine grounds. And there were many rare stalls that I had never seen before. I saw gorgeously dressed men here and there. It was totally unlike the outside world. This world seemed like it was taken right out of a picture scroll. Just looking at it all, it's hard to make a decision. Then I suddenly set my eyes on a stall selling bright red candy apples. Hey there, miss! How would you like one? I looked at Kageru-san's profile as he stood next to me. Do you like candy apples? It's very fair-like, and they're cute. Cute? Are they little apples? Usually when you go, it's like the biggest motherfucking apple, and you're like, how the fuck am I supposed to eat that? Yes, they are. Miss, can you give me a red one? All right, just one? Kakeru-san received the candy apple from the female stallkeeper and handed it to me. Here you go, Spacey-san. For me? But won't you have one, Kakeru-san? Girl, we gonna share it. Oh, indirect kissing. Oh, I'm okay. I'm not very good with sweets. Oh my god. He's Masamune before he was reborn. Do you get drunk on them? Is that like a thing? Kidding. Thank you. I tried to eat the bright red candy apple, but he stared at me with his big eyes and made me feel embarrassed. What happened? Please don't look at me so much. Eating a candy apple is awkward as fuck because it's like huge and you're gonna get fucking caramel all over your face. I looked away from him and put my mouth on its jewel-like shining surface. While doing that, I could still feel Kageru-san's eyes on my lips. It's very red. Huh? Hey, your cheeks and lips are very red. It looks like you put rouge on them. Unless they covered the candy apple in some kind of other thing, but that's usually caramel, isn't it? He quietly extended his white finger and traced along my cheeks. And with the pads of his finger, he then traced my lower lip, which had just been on the candy apple a moment ago. Whoops. Kageru-san? Hey, your small tongue, too. I felt that the words that he was saying didn't match his match this straight-back boy. I felt a bit of heat in my cheeks and lowered my head slightly. Why don't we take a look at some other stalls? I wanted to change the mood that was hanging over us there, so I pointed to a random stall. That's a store that sells cosmetics to the red light district. They have such a stall? Yes, let's take a look. When we looked inside the stall, there was a lot of rouge, colored powders, and hairpins. It was filled with various tools for the purpose of beautifully adorning gentlemen. Rouge and lipstick to make them beautiful. Oh, that's hilarious. Wouldn't that have actually been funnier, though? If, like, this whole game, it was, like, them dressed up like geishas. They had, like, all the full fucking makeup and shit. And then you see them out in the daytime and they're like this. That's what you look like without all your makeup. I might have had a little bit too much fun with that. It would have been really awkward as fuck, but it would have been kind of funny. What is this? It's beautiful. Interested by a shell that had an image of a ballroom flower painted on it, I picked it up. This is it Komochi? Komochi? Yeah. I don't know where the accent goes on that, you know. Is it komochi or is it komochi? Komochi? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. It's always in the wrong spot whenever I pronounce. But anyway. This is Komochi Rouge. Go ahead and open the shell. After he said that, I opened the shell. That's interesting. Its inside was painted with an iridescent color, and it shined dimly. Huh. If you place a wet brush to this colored part here, it'll make a beautiful crimson color. Its color is so golden, though. I want to buy one for you. Is it okay? You don't wear any makeup at all. So it would be too sad if all you had was the rouge from that candy apple. Kageru-san looked at my face and grinned at me. He's trying to paint me up. I sort of felt that he was making fun of me. What you doing? You chewing on Mr. Bat's toes? Chewing on your toes? Or are you snuggling? You snuggling Bats? Why are you chewing on his feet? You're so cute. What? Bird just likes to snuggle with stuffed animals. Is it because you can't get Mr. Owl? You want me to move him? Well, I was going to fix him for you because you can't snuggle underneath him. He has this owl and it's so funny because it pushes up on top of the shelf that's behind my couch. But sometimes he likes to snuggle it, but if you lift it up, he will like shove his body underneath it and he just fucking weird. He wants to be like shoved underneath this fucking stuffed owl. He used to hang upside down like a fucking bat. I lost him one day when I first had him because I had a futon instead of a couch because I'm awesome like that. And like I had a blanket laying on the back. And so like, you know, futon backs aren't straight. They're kind of angled. So like the top of the back of the futon was against the wall and I had stuff sitting up there. The blanket on the back. So like, you know, it angles away from the wall as it goes down. So of course the back of the blanket's just hanging straight, but there was a gap between the back of the futon and the blanket. Well, I'm looking for him. Oh, it's quiet. I'm like, where the hell is the bird? Looking for him, freaking out, calling his name like he's going to come to me. Running around the apartment, looking behind the pillows on the couch, thinking, oh my God, he fell and I smushed it, something. I'm pulling all the little stuffed animal stuff on the back of the couch off, pulling everything. I pull the blanket off the back. He goes flying out. And I was like, where the fuck were you? And I have no idea. I'm like, where the fuck was he? I have no idea, right? It was like later. It was like a couple weeks later or whatever. I found one day I look behind the couch and he is literally hanging on the backside between the blanket and the couch, just like fucking hanging there. Just sleeping like that, like a fucking weirdo. So I was like, so that's what you were doing when I can't find you. And yet it's funny because I have my like slanket like that my friends got me and I sit there, but he doesn't want to get anywhere near it. He won't jump on it. He won't snuggle in it. He's so weird. He wants to snuggle with his stuffed animals and he wants to be jammed in and he will crawl up underneath them or under, but he won't, like if you were sitting there with a blanket, he won't snuggle up in the blanket. It's so fucking weird. I talk about you snuggling with your Mr. Owl. He's like, because like the little owl has like little arms. They're not supposed to be wings, but they just look like little arms. And he stuffs himself between the little wing and the body. It's the weirdest fucking bird. He used to be weirder, but I don't have a blanket that he can curl under, but I mean, I do. He just won't do it when he's sitting with me because he doesn't want me to see because he knows I'm going to try to take a picture. Anyway. I sort of felt he was making fun of me weird right now. But if I wear this rouge, might this cynical boy offer me the slightest compliment and say I'm beautiful upon seeing me? Okay then, if you insist. I received the shell from the shopkeeper and carefully put it away in my chest pocket. Tired from walking around, we sat down next to each other on the edge of the hall of worship. We looked around the shrine grounds, which were crowded with people. Yoshiwara fairs. Oh, that's me. I thought it was him. Yoshiwara fairs are amazing. And I had a great time together with Kakeru-san. You seem to have enjoyed yourself quite a lot. I'm glad. It's been a while since I walked around a fair for this long a time. Kakeru-san also wasn't taking his usual standoffish attitude right now. He's like hot and cold. Like sometimes he's lukewarm and cold, but still. And this is my first time to come here with someone after having invited them though. I'm glad that it's you. He said it was his first time. Those words spoken from his smiling mouth tickled my heart. If you invited them, Kakeru-san, then I think there are many people who would want to go with you. I knew it was going to say you, sorry. The only people around me are gentlemen of the night. And there are no women who would want to go with an apprentice like me. But after your debut, there will certainly be many women that'll be captivated by you. Oh, I'm sorry, It's fine. As a gentleman of the night, it's something that I have to prepare for someday. What do you hope for in the future, Kageru-san? Before, you said you want to continue studying, though. I don't know. My freedom may be restricted. I want to continue, but I don't want to think about the future now. Kageru-san pulled the pendant from the other day out of his sleeve and rolled it on his palm. When I looked at him doing this, I remembered Shion-san's offer to buy his freedom. Perhaps, for a gentleman of the night, it's best to have your freedom bought and leave Yoshiwara, is it not? This is what I've been wanting to ask him for a long time. Uh-oh. I quietly waited for Kageru-san's answer. That's a little... When I saw him biting his lower lip, did it mean that he didn't think it was a good idea? I had some doubts. Don't you want to be free? Do you not like the idea of having your freedom? Is there another way to get out of Yoshiwara? Well, I don't... Well, okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Is there another way to get out of Yoshiwara? Yeah, running away. But... I mean... If you had the opportunity to have your freedom bought, wouldn't you do that as opposed to running away? It's not like, well, there's no option to have your freedom bought, so the only then is there another way, right? But here's the interesting thing. Don't you want to be free? Do you not like the idea of having your freedom? These two kind of make me think that they're trying to lead you to being like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really confused as to why they would word it like, don't you want to be free? Do you not like the idea of having your freedom? Because I don't know why... I don't know. But it's also weird because at the same... Then you're like, do you not like the idea of having your freedom? But he's sitting there right now being like, well, I mean, my freedom's going to be restricted. So then would it be weird to be like, do you not want to be free? God, this one's confusing. Because I feel like they've got two options here. Don't you want to be free? Do you not like the idea of having your freedom? Right? So it seems like they kind of want you to go that way. But he was just talking about he wants to learn and all this stuff, but he doesn't want to think about the future because his freedom might be restricted. So he wouldn't feel sad about that if he didn't want to have his freedom. But at the same time, if you had the option of your freedom bought, wouldn't you take it? So it's really hard. It's a really tough decision, this one. Because I can see it. I mean... No, maybe this one... Okay, you know what? I think I'm making it more complicated than it is. You have two options that are exactly the same, and you have one that's totally different. Even though this one seems really weird, because you're like, so maybe you have your freedom bought. Yeah, I don't know about that. But you have that option. It's not like we don't know about that. We know that he has this option. So that's what makes this one seem odd. But... we already know he's sad about the idea. Okay, I think this might be the right way to go, even though it seems really awkward. I think I'm overthinking it, but... Is there another way to be free from Yoshiwara, aside from running away? I don't think there is. My only other choice is just wait until I pay back all my debt and have a proper retirement. But it's funny, it's not his debt. I hate that. I hate that they keep saying that. I'm paying back my debt. It's not your debt, though. Your parents sold you. It's their debt. That is like, I have credit card debt, and I owe X amount of dollars, or I have student loans. I have student loans and credit card debt. Okay, I owe X amount of dollars, so I'm going to have a child, and now it's like, sweet, I'm giving them to the credit card companies, and now you have to work off my debt. That's fucking... Except for I didn't start out with that debt. I had none. I had a kid, and I was like, I'm going to sell him to you for like $100,000. Now I got $100,000, and that kid's got to work off $100,000. That's fucking insane. It's not your debt. Although, I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of like your parents when they pay for your college. They're taking on loans and paying debt for you to get a degree, and then they're continuing to work to pay off your debt. But it's like the reverse. It'd be like your parents got student loans and now you're paying off their debt. You got none of the benefit. You were the one working off the debt for someone. I hate that, though. Work off my debt. It's not yours, though. Shit, that's so unfair, and it makes me angry. It makes me so angry for these poor men. Jesus. Anyway. Though, I guess it would be a different story if I became sick and had some physical problems. Oh, no. So then, having someone buy your freedom is the only way, isn't it? It is. But I think that there's someone more suitable for freedom than me. Someone more suitable? Who is he talking about? Is that why he doesn't want his sister to buy his freedom? Because he wants Kagura to be free? Oh, that's so touching. Or he's literally thinking he's paid his due. He's been around for so long. He should be free, and I'm young and like... That's actually kind of adorable. He's not being totally selfish. Sometimes you're an asshole, but it's okay. I told you I knew this was going to happen. I knew we were going to like not hate him in his route, even though he's kind of pissed me off. Aw. Anyway, who's he talking about? Anyway, as long as he can't be free, I can't think about my own freedom. Oh, well, your sister can buy your freedom when we can buy his freedom because we've got money too. Kageru-san. He avoided mentioning the name of the person in question. But was this the reason why he kept refusing Shion-san's offer? I'm sorry to have asked you something strange like that. From now on, please think about your question first before you ask me. I haven't even made my debut, so it's too early to think about having my freedom bought. If I had time to think about that, then I need to focus more on studying and training. Yes, now he's being cold again. I feel like it's definitely a defense mechanism. You know what I mean? Anyways, please stop talking to me about such dreamlike things. It's unpleasant for me. If he's become this stubborn, then wouldn't it be impossible to convince him? Or rather, he might have been distressed all by himself for some time after hearing Shion-san's offer. Thinking about that suitable person... I'm sorry, Kageru-san. Before I knew it, I put my fingers over the fist that he was making on his knee. Spacey-san, I've said too much. And today was supposed to be a fun day at the fair. Oh, why don't we walk around to change the mood? I mean, it's my fault for pushing, but it's okay. When we left the shrine, the sun had started to set. It's also your fault for being a little bit of a dick about it, but... just like... I thought that we opened up to each other today, but... As he walked ahead of me, Kageru-san didn't speak to me since that last conversation. While walking in a gloomy mood, Kageru-san stopped walking. Kagura-san? Oh, Kageru. No, but their hair and eyes are different colors. Okay, I was like, are they related too? I don't know. I think he just thinks he's like... I feel like he probably thinks that Kagura is like his family, and he thinks he deserves to be free before he does. And that's so fucking adorable, and I love it. I didn't expect you to be with this girl. Kagura-san looked at us and smiled meaningfully. Oh. Like a real brothers. Like a real brother or like real brothers? Like a real brothers, plural. See? He thinks of him like a brother because he's definitely not. He can't. There's no way because he's a real brother. They don't look alike, but... And then you'd think that, like, Shion-san would try to save them both. I don't know, anyway. He must think of him like a brother. He's like I said before, he's family. Like, he's been more family to him than his mom and sister. Not his sister's fault, but you know what I'm saying? So anyway. You're that Spacey-san who tried to choose Kageru before, aren't you? Yes. And did you hang out together with Kageru? That's interesting, hang out. What are you, like 28? Not supposed to say hang out. I'm just kidding. He's like, I'm only 25! Red light districting is hard. Anyway, oops, crap. Shit, I clicked off my screen. I clicked off my screen and clicked on something else. When I took a glance at Kageru-san. Yes, I asked Spacey-san to go to the fair at Inari Shrine together. We're on our way back to Kikuya now. Kageru-san looked depressed before, but that same Kageru-san was speaking so meekly. I see. Spacey-san, how did you like going to the fair with Kageru? It was enjoyable. It was okay. I like that. It was okay. It was enjoyable. No. It was okay. That's definitely not the right answer. It was enjoyable, or he was kind to me. I mean, it was enjoyable, but are they trying to make me say he was kind to me because, like, Kagura would care about that? He was very kind to me. I trained him well. You know what I mean? Like, it was fun. You know what I mean? I mean, it was fun, but we'd be giving him... Why is my thing spinning? We'd be giving him props and telling Kagura, like, you've trained him well. And making Kageru-san look good. So I think we should go with that. He was very kind to me. I see. Please continue to be good to him from now on. Yes. Kagura-san looked at Kageru-san warmly. Aw. And Kageru-san was acting more meekly than ever before. I think that's supposed to say... Oh, you know, it says Kageru-san. You know what it is? It messed me up because they left a letter out, and I was like, wait, what? Yeah. You guys look like a real brothers. I had to read it that way. I'm sorry. You guys look like real brothers. You know what's really funny? So he's got, like, the bluish kind of eyes, and he's got blue hair. And he's got, like, the, like, brownish kind of eyes, and he's got that. So their hair and eyes are reversed. Are they supposed to be brothers, like, for realsies? That would be adorable. Holy shit, it'd be crazy. I was only kidding when I said that earlier, but... I've been taking care of Kageru for a long time. So, Kagura-san, you were taking care of him. I didn't know that. Kagura-san has been taking care of me since I was sold to Kikuya when I was little. He's like a dad to him! Aw. Ah. Okay, so they're not supposed to be real brothers, but they are, like, he treats them like family, see? Yeah, that's what, oh, that's so adorable. Okay. And that's why he's close to me like a real blood-related brother. And Kageru was a real handful at first, though. Kageru-san was. I mean, duh. I could see that they care for each other so much. But was it not like this from the beginning? Stop it. I was just a little boy at the time. I'm ashamed. Because you weren't honest with yourself. But he changed when he started to have interest in books I was reading, and I started teaching him. Yes, I was allowed to study and practice martial arts, and things weren't necessary for a gentleman. I don't know how to express my appreciation. You can express your gratitude by improving yourself. When I saw the way they looked at each other, I realized something. Even without being blood-related, their bond was one that could only exist between real brothers. Someone more suitable than me. It's like she just fucking figured it out. Kageru-san must have continued to be distressed all by himself. Torn between Kagura-san, who he yearned for as his real brother, and Shion-san. That's why he refused her offer to buy his freedom. You guys definitely look like real blood-related brothers. You would think Kagura would have a lot less debt to pay off because he's been working for a while. We have money. Shion-san could pay to get Kageru out, and we could pay to get Kagura out, and then they both, and then, hey, yay! You guys definitely look like real blood-related brothers. And Spacey-san. When I thought about the feelings of Kageru-san, who was now looking shy, my heart also hurt. But, well, suddenly Kagura-san looked at me and Kageru-san and sighed. You're almost ready for that, aren't you, Kageru? I don't want to talk about it. What were they talking about? Kageru-san was acting weird. Kageru-san? Then Kageru-san came in close to Kagura-san. I'm still just an inexperienced novice. Oh, he was like, I think you're ready, my child. He's like, no, I don't want, I'm scared. Kagura's like, I think you're ready to take her. And he's like, no, dude, no, man. I'm not ready for this. Let's just be friends. Please allow me to continue to study under you, Kagura-san. In response to Kageru-san's desperate begging, Kagura-san looked at him in a calming manner. I think you're ready, aren't you? Kagura-san's glance moved and instantly met mine. What is this? Oh, girl! What is this meaningful glance that he's giving me now? Kagura-san. Kageru, don't become so disappointed in front of this beautiful lady. Yes. Then Kagura-san looked back at me. Spacey-san, I just received a cancellation from tonight's client. If it is all right with you, could the three of us have a banquet again like we did the other day? A banquet? Is that okay for you? But I don't have money today. I put away the money that the young couple gave me in a shelf in my house, so I didn't bring it with me today. I am the one who wants to have a banquet tonight, so you don't need to worry about money. Oh, first one's free. Kageru, you're okay with that, right? Yes, if that's what Kagura-san wants. And now is a good time, too. We should go back to Kikuya. Before we knew it, we were heading towards Kikuya through the town with its lights already shining. The banquet began with the dancing of young gentlemen in time with the sounds of a shamisen. So, you got some komachi. Wasn't it komochi rouge? And this is komachi rouge. I don't know which one's right, but anyway, one's a typo. And that store also has good colored powders. I hear that Takao uses them too. Takao-san? The top gentleman of the night, Takao. Was he the man I met on the first day? The one wearing that gorgeous kimono? You'd think he'd be the cheapest to buy. Because he's been around the longest. And he's top gentleman, so he probably gets lots and lots of monies. But then again, if he's sending his money back to his dad, he's not, you know what I mean? Like, who knows how much each person is in debt, but it's not like you're like, I'm going to sell my kid for $20. Some people might be like, you want my son? $300,000. $1 million. Or sharks with frickin' laser beams. Or both. $1 million on sharks with frickin' laser beams? Deal. Though arrogant and prideful, and true to the name, he is certainly the top gentleman in Kikuya. Excuse me. This is top quality sake that was delivered to the shop today. Kageru-san didn't join our conversation and only devoted himself to supporting Kagura-san. Kageru, have you forgotten how to entertain a client? You should join our conversation so that she'll enjoy herself more. Yes, and then excuse me. Kageru-san lowered his head and moved to the place next to me. But when you guys sit next to each other, it looks like a painting. Kagura-san stared at me and Kageru-san sitting next to each other, like he was appreciating art. He gently narrowed his eyes and had a gaze that was like a parent looking at his own child. Really? Maybe Kageru-san looks like that, but I thought the same exact thing when I saw you before in the town of Yoshiwara. I thought you guys looked like a good match. Kagura-san, what are you saying? Kageru, this lady's cup is empty, isn't it? Yes. Kageru-san poured sake from the bottle into my cup. Oh, his face was close to mine. It was close enough to touch shoulders. At this distance, Kakura-san's words made me nervous. You chose Kageru first. Could you tell me the reason why you did that? The reason? I could feel Kageru-san looking at me. Uh-oh. Was he nervous about my answer? We're around the same age. I was attracted to his beauty. After I talked to him, I became interested in him. Okay, that's bullshit right there. After I talked to him, I became interested in him. I like it when people are mean to me. Actually, that's a very Spacey response right there. If he was wearing glasses and was mean to me, I'd have jumped his bones first chance I got. I was attracted to his beauty sounds like something we should say to Takao or Tokiwa. I mean, the honest answer is because we're the same age, right? Are we supposed to suck up to him and say I was attracted? I feel like we should be honest, like we were around the same age and he was the least scary. That's exactly why she chose him. So let's go with the honest answer. I thought we're around the same age. That's what I honestly felt at the time. Truth. Certainly your age is close to his, so it would seem that he's easy to talk to. Well, I need to tell Iroha-san something, so I'm going to leave for a little while. Kageru, take care of her well until I return. Yes. And so Kakura-san stood up and left us together in the room. He's like, I think she's going to be his friend. It's cool. Oh my god. In the middle of the banquet, the young gentlemen were still dancing beautifully. But more than the dancing and singing, I'm sorry, Spacey-san. Kakura-san, just what was he thinking? He doesn't usually say those kinds of things. I don't mind, so that was a lie. This boy was already the only thing on my mind. Well, how would you like me to refresh your tray? Or how about trying the sake? When he tried to pass me another cup of sake, our fingers touched a little. It was just touching, but somehow... And you held hands earlier. What happened? No, nothing. My heart started to beat faster and faster. Spacey-san, the boy's not yet fully grown face looked into my face. This is troubling. If you're acting like that, then I don't know what to do. Kageru-san, I just noticed his eyes had a color as deep as the night sky. And now I was staring at Kageru-san. It felt like I was looking at someone that I had met for the first time. I mean, technically, yeah, we're going to save. This would be the perfect place to end, so I'm still a man. Oh, God. Oh, good Lord. This is going to get good. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here, and I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.